My channel's been under attack now. I've
Channel's
been
under
ratioed.
attack, people.
I put this out there because there was just one more little thing that I noticed. I saw it over on Instagram. I took a screenshot, trimmed it down, and just put the picture out there. And I obviously wrote, spot the difference. Disney Star Wars is a fucking joke. They really don't care, and neither should you. I don't really see that saying that like, oh my God, this is what killed Star Wars. No, what's killing Star Wars is Disney is killing Star Wars. Now, this might be a very minor thing. It might be a nitpicky thing. And yeah, it probably is when you actually look at all the other major problems from episode 1. But let me say, I feel like the reason why this has ended up getting so much traction is because the bigger problems that people should be confronting, these people don't want you to actually confront that or see that, right? They want you to think that all the criticism that the Bad Batch, that the Book of Boba Fett is getting is shit because of this one bad take.
No,
right?
I think you're 100% on there. This is the scapegoat. This is what they want to portray people who don't like what they like as if like this is, and if you go through the quote tweets, you see a lot of it. They say it like right out there. They're like, oh yeah, my childhood's ruined. It's like that's not what I'm saying. That wasn't your point. But they want to set this up. It's like a straw man, but it's not really a straw man because it actually exists. But they want this to be the representation of what people who don't like the TV show has to offer versus like this is just one of the many things that is wrong. And like I know you very well, Ryno. We've talked Star Wars for several years now, like 2 years plus. Your point in this thing wasn't that this one thing is what makes the show bad. It is this one thing combined with the disappearing Gamorreans, the Fennec Shan somehow getting in front of characters that were running in the opposite direction of her. Suddenly she's like, boop, there she is in front of them.
The changing of Boba Fett. Sloppy storytelling.
Well, no, just the continuity issues. Just on that level.
Yeah.
Those three things combined show a lack of attention to detail.
Yep. And a lack of care.
And a lack of care. I'm sure that somebody noticed that the creature was missing.
Oh, there's been people in this thread that have actually written to me and go, man, that's nowhere near as bad as this. And I even wrote back to them and I go, I covered that. And this is the point that I want to make. I've obviously got people that follow me and people that watch my videos. And it was almost those people that I was sort of saying this to because they're the ones that have seen all my other criticisms, right? Mm-hmm. So this was just another thing that I thought, okay, this just sits on top of the pile of crap from the Book of Boba Fett, right? And that is my point with this. It's not that this one moment specifically destroys all of Star Wars. Disney are doing a good enough job of destroying Star Wars without a scene like this being the one that destroys it. They've just completely destroyed the character of Boba Fett.
By the way, I just want to say something really quick. That lizard, you know why it's missing? It's the one that went up his nose. It's symbolism, and you're dumb because you didn't see that symbolism, Ryno. So
I see. So there's a couple of different points that people are making throughout this. There's the people that are saying that it's a memory. There are the people that are saying it's a different angle, right? Now, the people that are saying it's a memory admit that it should be there, right? Because they're saying that it's a memory and you're not going to remember anything. So based on that, they're saying that, yes, it probably should be there, but it's not there because it's just a memory. Then you've got the people that are saying that it's a different camera angle. So, okay, I'm going to point out, this isn't a big deal, guys. I'm not sitting in the corner of my house fucking crying. I don't have a mum's basement to go to, and I go outside every fucking day. So those stupid fucking idiots out there that just go, oh, go and touch grass, or Just go outside, or I can smell this guy's virginity from here.
Yep, there was one. There was a.
Or you live in your parent's basement. That's what I was saying again last week.
Any of those things, I completely ignore all of those ones. The people that want to say, "Oh, you're a dickhead," but they're trying to make a point by saying that it's a memory, or the ones that are saying it's a different camera angle, I'll address those because at least they're giving some sort of criticism to my criticism, right? So I'll address that. I don't like some of the things that they add to those messages, but I don't fucking care. But I will address them. So first of all, I think throughout the trailer review the episode review that we've just done, I think I've made my point very clear on the fact of what's a memory and what he's actually able to see and not remember and all of this kind of thing. Now, there's going to be people out there that say that Boba Fett's memory with the Tuskens was only 5 years ago. You're going to remember a lot more from 5 years ago than you are from 30, 40 years ago when you were a kid. Okay, fair enough. But then it also brings me to the point of the bar, right? When he takes down the biker gang in the bar and he's not even there, but we're seeing what happens in great detail, all the way down to the bartender cleaning the glasses. So the detail, it's taking it fucking out of the shot does not destroy whatever story they have. It's just a missing piece of information. It's a missing piece of context from a previous shot that we saw. But look, okay, I've explained the memory thing. I don't buy the memory thing. Because it's a memory, you're portraying the memory of this to the audience. If it was a memory, you'd probably see it more in first person than you would third person. There's that factor. But in movie magic, TV magic, we're seeing a memory from a third person perspective. Okay, cool. Well, you're portraying that to the audience. Why can't it be detailed and have good continuity, good consistency? That for me shuts down the whole, it's a memory thing. It's a memory thing, right? The other thing is obviously the different angle. Now, I want to point this out.
It's not.
It's not much of a different angle at all. It is slightly different. I'll give it that. This top shot here is ground level and a lot closer. This is a lot more zoomed out and it's higher up. You've got this pillar here, which is right here. You've got this pillar here, which is right here. And you've got this square pillar here, which is right here. If you look at his head in relationship to where that first cave is, that is there, right? If you actually look at the angle of where that cave lines up with his head, the camera is slightly more to the left from this shot here, but it's way more zoomed out. You should actually see more of the break in this shot right here. It's a more zoomed out shot and it's higher up, right? That's the different angle.
Like, so just from a practical standpoint, when it comes to the angles, right? So you're telling me that when they shot Attack of the Clones, Lucas shot the same thing from the other side of the stadium? Why would he do that?
Are people trying to say that it's a flipped around shot?
Yeah, I saw one person, say that it was because of the dent in the helmet or whatever. And
so like the camera is actually like next to the reek. It's on the other side of him.
Yeah, which is impossible because then
you see impossible. And look at the pillars and look at the background. It's the same.
Unless it's all the way from the other side. It just like the angle that we're seeing, we'd see more of the leak. I mean, that's the physical reality. You can look at the pillars and line it up. You can see the doorway and line it up. I don't know how else to put it. Like you can see it right there. There's that pillar, and then there's that pillar. And that little tiny one, the one on the right, is distinctly different. So like you can tell it's the camera is just moved back.
That's right. It's about the same
and to the right.
There is there. And that looks about the same as that there. It's not much of a change.
Cry hard. But see, this is the point though. They want to portray the people who don't like Star Wars, us, right? And they did this with the sequel movies as well. Is like, oh, we're just nitpicking these tiny things and we're saying our childhood's ruined because one tiny aspect has changed. It's like, no, This is 1 point out of many.
You're close. You're using these nitpicky things to hide the fact that you're really a racist, sexist, and misogynist pig for not liking Disney Star Wars.
Yeah, that too. Yeah,
Rey and Finn.
But I mean, they're attaching an argument to you that you've never made. Like,
oh my god, I can't believe the camera angle is different. Childhood ruined. Fuck you, Disney. SMH. What's SMH?
Shaking my head. Yeah, the camera angle's different. You freaking moron.
Yeah, it's actually you would actually see more of the reek. So well done on agreeing with my argument. Hey, I got called
in the end, from a storytelling perspective, doesn't matter.
He called you the N-word.
Yeah, he did.
If from a story perspective, doesn't matter if that is in the shot or not. No, I don't think it does. But what it does allude to, again, is a lack of attention to detail in the production of the show. Why is it not there?
It's not so much a lack of attention, Greg. It's a disregard for detail more than it is a lack of. It's like they just
lack of attention would be giving them a little bit of the benefit of the doubt. Yeah. I don't think the point isn't like, oh my god, the dinosaur, the reek is missing. This sucks. It's like, oh my god, like you can't even borrow shots from other things correctly. Like,
this is the thing. People are actually saying that this was a shot from episode 2. This was unused footage from episode 2. So okay, I believe it too. But like CGI in the fucking make it look the same. And the fact that it's a memory doesn't change the fact that they got lazy.
Well, and the fact that the thing isn't even in motion because it's dead. So it's not even a complicated CGI. It's just literally like a Photoshop put it in there. But yeah, the idea that like your point was that this was somehow ruined the entire thing. Like, no.
Well, see, again, I see this
isn't that it's ruined. It's that they're just not, they don't care about the details.
That's right. The people that want to make the argument that it's a memory or whatever, I'll have that discussion. I will shut it down and say why it's still a bad idea to not have it in there. And yes, it is a small thing. It doesn't change anything to whatever story, like I said, that they have. It just affects continuity when you're actually seeing it. Because again, it's not something that I noticed from the episode. I saw this on Instagram well after I'd done my review and everything, right? And it takes me to that other one, the picture that people did a side-by-side with Mos Espa. You know, they are changing the shit, and that is the point. Not that this one tiny little thing that they fucking neglected to do destroys everything. No, you know what's worse than this from episode 1? The disappearing Gamorreans. The Fennec Shan jumping off a roof and then popping up out of nowhere.
They're errors. Like, just quit writing excuses for it and being like, oh, this is it gives it more gravity because it shows how isolated he really is and how lonely he is. There's like, no, or they just didn't feel like putting it in, and it's an error. It's just an error.
This shit, weirdo. You've got 24 hours. And again, it just brings me back to the fact that it is a small issue and people can look past it. So what they want to do is they want to portray all the criticisms as worthless because they're based on logic like what they think this is.
Yeah, don't listen to people like Raging Ryno. He spurgs out about a dead dinosaur.
My opinion is my opinion, and no matter what people have said, I have found a way to actually discredit what you're saying, whether it be a memory, whether it be a different angle, whether it not matter or not, or whether it matter or not. It's it's lazy on behalf of Lucasfilm. It's lazy that they didn't put it in. You know what? You know what's really funny actually about this too is that I copped a lot of this. Nowhere near as bad. I didn't get a ratio like this. But, you know, I copped a little bit of this when I was giving my criticisms of The Mandalorian. The funny thing is it was coming from a completely different community that I thought was, similar to my thought process on it all.
No.
That's why with this, I can laugh at it. Whereas with that, I felt actually come on, guys. Can we actually be a little bit more consistent?
A little bit betrayed. Yeah.
Yeah, little betrayed. So that's why I actually got probably more angry about the stuff with The Mandalorian than I am with this. This is a joke. It is a very minor point. It is a nitpick, but it's a valid nitpick, I feel. You can still nitpick something and it still be valid. Star Wars fans are weird. No. We just want consistency.
Yeah.
It's honestly not that big a deal. Chill out. In comparison to everything else that's wrong with that episode, you're right. It's not a big deal. But I'm not freaking out to the point where like I need to chill out. Like, woosah. I'm fucking hyperventilating because there's a fucking missing reek. And to those people that say, like, you're just watching it to hate on it and blah, 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 blah. Yes, I admitted that that's what I was doing because Disney Star Wars isn't Star Wars. They've already started deconstructing the character of Boba Fett before we even started with the series. So I am here to explain to people why this isn't Star Wars. And that's what I'm doing. So if you got a problem with that and you want to ratio everything that I do, go for it. I don't mind. I already knew going in that this was going to be pretty bad. I would have sat there and said, hey, there's some good storytelling in here if they did. And I have made the distinction between it not being offensive, but making sense within the Disney Star Wars stuff, and it actually being offensive and being really bad. So I do always point out that, okay, yeah, this was on the surface, it was fine. But then when you start actually looking at it from a Star Wars perspective and you start to see how much of Star Wars is lacking from these shows and these episodes and these things, I'm going to point that shit out. And I think I've been consistent through the whole thing. I'm not going to do what these people say and stop watching it or whatever. So I just want to read this because I think that this is the best way for me to describe what I think is going on. And I kind of explained it earlier, but I'll just read it from what I wrote. Did we call it out when we saw the ones Lucas made? I know I did. Did you? And then this is just going back to, obviously, this is from the thread from the thing that I posted that blew up. It's one more, be it small and petty, thing I saw on top of all the major problems in this show. Everyone thinks, I think, this one small thing, destroyed all of Star Wars. And then this is the point that I really want to make. I think people know it's bad, and the smallest piece of criticism is what's copying it the most, because people can't find justifications for the other more important problems. They are trying to discredit all the bad criticism with this one small piece of criticism. And I truly believe that that's the case.